sudah dalam jarak jauh terasa nyaman.
Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayang-sayangnya, hei lihat dari jauh, rasa sayang-sayangnya. Sayang-sayangnya, lihat dari jauh, rasa sayang-sayangnya. Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayang-sayang.
Satukan tekad hasrat, bangkitkan jiwa.
Halo Pak Iskandar. Pak Iskandar sudah bangun.
Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayang-sayangnya, lihat dari jauh, rasa sayang-sayangnya. Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayang-sayangnya, lihat dari jauh, rasa sayang-sayangnya. Duduk-duduk ramai-ramai, mari torang baku pantun. Mulai dari sekarang harus sopan dan santun.
Kalau ikan di dalam kolam, bunga tumbuh di tengah taman. Kalau cinta sudah dalam jarak jauh terasa nyaman.
Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayang-sayangnya, hei lihat dari jauh, rasa sayang-sayangnya. Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayang-sayangnya,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Teras-TP number 4, webinar series hosted by the Research Center for Food Crops under the Research Organization for Agriculture and Food, National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN. We are delighted that all participants joined us today via Zoom and the BRIN Indonesia YouTube channel. Warm welcome to our YouTube viewers. Thank you for being part of this important discussion. Before we begin, please allow us to share a few housekeeping notes. Kindly mute your microphone while speakers are presenting to avoid background noise. And the moderator will later explain the technical procedures for the discussion and Q&A session. Please rename your Zoom display using the format your name _ organization. You are welcome to use the official virtual background provided by the committee. And the attendance and etc. form will be shared via the chat box. Please make sure to fill them out to receive your certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will begin the webinar. Before that, allow me to begin with a short pantun. Flowers bloom in the morning light, birds are singing clear and true. Welcome all to this webinar bright. Together we learn and grow with you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Welcome to Teras-TP number 5 webinar series. Thank you to all for attending this webinar. I am Mulyani. I'm honored to serve as the master of ceremony for today's webinar. At this moment, I would like to acknowledge and warmly welcome our honorable guests and speakers, the Honorable Chairman of Research Organization for Agriculture and Food, National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN, Mrs. Puji Lestari SP, MSc, PhD, Distinguished Head of Research Center for Food Crops under Research Organization for Agriculture and Food, Dr. Yudhistira Nugraha SPMP, our distinguished speakers, Mr. Pitambar Sresa, Program Advisor of Community Seed Bank Associations of Nepal, Mr. Stanley Kristianto, Program Manager of Yayasan Borneo Institute Indonesia, and Dr. Andes Muhammad Iskandar Ishak MP, researcher from Research Center for Food Crop BRIN. Our distinguished moderator for today, Dr. Hakim Kurniawan SPMP, researcher at the Research Center for Food Crops BRIN. And of course, all participants of Teras-TP number 5 webinar series who have joined us for both Zoom and the BRIN Indonesia YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for blessing us and allowing us to attend this webinar in good conditions. Welcome to Teras-TP number 5 webinar series on strengthening community participation to support the conservation of agricultural genetic resources. Today, Tuesday, 2nd of September 2025. The webinar is presented by Research Center for Food Crops under the Research Organization for Agriculture and Food, National Research and Innovation Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the next agenda, allow me to briefly walk you through this agenda. The first opening remark by your Chairman of Research Organization for Agriculture and Food, and the second welcome remarks by Head of Research Center for Food Crops. The third, group photo session. The fourth, sharing session and discussion. The fifth, appreciation and awarding session, and the last is closing session. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is opening remark by Chairman of Research Organization for Agriculture and Food. As Mrs. Puji Lestari is currently attending to another important official duty, she cannot be present with us today. However, in her commitment to this event, she has kindly recorded a special message, which we now invite you towards the following video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Excellency, the head of the Center for Food Crops, Dr. Yudhistira Nugraha, distinguished speaker, Pitambar Sresta, Community Seed Banks Association of Nepal. Nice to see you. And thanks for sharing your knowledge and experience. And Stanley Kristianto, Yayasan Borneo Institute. So nice to see you. And then Muhammad Iskandar Ishak is the researcher from the Center for Food Crops under ruang BRIN. All colleague, professor, participant, we are very welcome to have you here all in this webinar series called Teras-TP 5. And today's theme is strengthening community participation to support the conservation of agricultural genetic resources, organized by the Center for Food Crops and the Organization for Agriculture and Food, RUAF, BRIN. And first, let's thank to our Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, for His blessing. We are here together and gathering for this fruitful webinar. As we know that the conservation of plant genetic resources for food and agriculture, or in the short word is PGRFA, is very fundamental to ensure food security and sustainable agricultural development, to face climate change, environmental degradation, and the erosion of traditional agricultural knowledge. So it is very important to secure and utilize genetic resources with a good manner, especially how to maintain the genetic diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, basically there are two main complementary strategies, namely ex situ, such as banks, and in situ or on-farm conservation, which have long been recognized as essential pillar of PGRF conservation effort, while ex situ ensures the long-term preservation of genetic material. In situ conservation maintains the dynamic evolution of genetic diversity and maintains the ecological and cultural connection between communities and the plant germplasm that they manage. Farmers and local communities play a crucial role in supporting agricultural germplasm conservation, and their daily interaction with the environment contribute to the dynamic conservation of in situ agrobiodiversity. Through this contribution, the local communities are also very active partners in conservation effort. However, this crucial contribution is often overlooked, and direct coordination and grassroots engagement with farmers enable them specifically to understand the specific needs, challenges, and potential within farming communities. These communities also bridge the gap between scientific institutions and local knowledge system, facilitating farmers' participation in on-farm conservation, seed saving, and variety development. Ladies and gentlemen, so in this issue, how BRIN, especially the Center for Food Crops, could assess research and innovation to support the management, preservation, and utilization of local genetic resources, including for breeding, for parental line, but in a good manner and balancing way, parallel to maintain the genetic diversity. Moreover, how also we are able to identify the best practice, identify gaps, and explore common barriers, and explore collaborative solutions that support integrated and effective genetic resources conservation. So in this regard, this webinar hopefully is able to raise awareness about the importance to conserve PGRFA through both ex situ and in situ approach, and then to provide a platform for practitioners to share real-world experience in managing gene bank and implementing community-based conservation, to identify key challenges, gaps, and opportunities in PGRF conservation, and then to facilitate knowledge sharing of best practices and innovation in genetic resource management, and at last, how to promote collaboration as synergy among institutions involved in the PGRFA conservation at the local, national, and regional level. With Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I open this webinar. This 5th Teras-TP. Have a fruitful discussion and have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Mrs. Puja Lestari for your inspiring word and officially open this webinar. Next, please welcome Dr. Yudhistira Nugraha, Head of Research Center for Food Crops, will share his welcome remarks. To Dr. Yudhistira Nugraha, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Ibu Mulyani. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, and all praise for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the God Almighty, the Honorable Chairman of Research Organization for Agriculture and Food of BRIN, Dr. Puji Lestari, the distinguished speakers and participants of webinar from different backgrounds. I see here mostly from researcher, academician, extension worker, and everybody who concerned to the agriculture. Welcome to our webinar Teras-TP number 5 on topic of strengthening community participation to support the conservation of agricultural genetic resource. We have assembled a distinguished panel of experts who will share their valuable insight and experience on the conservation and sustainable use of agricultural genetic resource. Today, we will hear from 3 speakers, each whom bring a unique perspective and expertise to this webinar. First, we will have Dr. Pintambar Srestha. He is executive member of the Community Seed Bank Association of Nepal, who will be speaking on community seed bank in Nepal, experience and lesson learned. Following Dr. Sresta, there will be Mr. Standis Kristianto. He is a program manager at the Borneo Institute Foundation in Kalimantan, Indonesia, will present on the development of seed houses and empowerment of local community to support the sustainability of germplasm in Kalimantan. And finally, we will hear from Dr. Andas Muhammad Iskandar Ishak, a researcher at Research Center for Food Crop of BRIN, Indonesia, who will discuss tradition-based in situ conservation of local land race, case study of Kasepuhan Sinar Resmi Sukabumi. And also, I extend gratitude to the moderator, Dr. Hakim, who will lead this webinar. And I extend also gratitude to the Research Center for Food Crop webinar team and the Plant Genetic Research Group under the guidance of Dr. Nurul Hidayatun and Bu Kristamtini for diligent coordination in bridging this webinar. This webinar will discuss the importance of plant genetic research, which has potential to provide the raw material for crop improvement. We know that the plant breeder have relied on the diversity within plant species to develop varieties that are more productive, resilient to the pests and disease, and adapted to specific environmental conditions. This genetic diversity is essential for adapting crop to the climate change, including increasing temperature, rainfall, more frequent extreme winter event. Without access to wide range of genetic resource, our ability to develop climate resilient crop will be extremely difficult. In this session, we will discuss about community seed bank. Community seed bank offer complementary approach to seed conservation and
Ibu Puji
provision,
sedang ngomong.
particularly in situation
Ada fotonya.
where formal system inadequate to provide sufficient and reliable seed for production. An example, the case of the establishment of government program for upland and swampy rice often encourage constraints related to seed availability. While formal seed system, they often face limitation in reaching remote rural area and could not meet the specific need of the diverse agroecological zones. The formal seed system can lead to delay in the supply of seed, limited varietal choice, and lack of the adaptation to local condition. While community seed bank or CSB offer the complementary approach to seed conservation and provision, particularly for crop like upland and swampy rice. By supporting the establishment and strengthening of the community seed bank, government and other stakeholders can enhance availability of local adapted seed, promote biodiversity conservation, and empowerment farmers to adapt to the climate change. The integration of community seed bank into the government program will be essential for building resilient and sustainable food system that can meet the need of present for the future generation. We are honored to have this expertise with us today, and we look forward to simulating an informative session. Your active participation highly encouraged. We believe that by this sharing session, we can collectively contribute to the conservation and sustainable use of the plant genetic resource, thereby strengthening food security for present and future generation. Before I close this remark, I will give a boom regarding to the genetic diversity and community seed bank. Roses are red, violets are blue. Genetic diversity help life breakthrough. Community seed bank with care they stand, saving our seed for thriving land. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Dr. Yudhistira Nugraha for the warm welcome and also for the beautiful poem. Dear participants, We will now proceed with the brief photo session. Please activate your cameras and stay on Zoom. I will guide you. 1, 2, 3. For the first slide. 1, 2, 3. For the second slide. And the commenter will capture the moment for the rest of the slides. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our moderator for today's sessions, Dr. Hakim Kurniawan, SP, MP, researcher on the Research Center for Food Crop BRIN. As shown at the screen, let me briefly inform you that Dr. Hakim completed his bachelor degree in agriculture microbiology at Gajah Mada University, Yogyakarta in 1996. His master's degree in plant breeding at Pajajaran University Bandung in 2002, and later his PhD in molecular plant physiology at the Faculty of Science, Radboud University, Netherlands in 2019. He served as a member of the National Committee on Genetic Resources from 2013 to 2017 and contributed to the multi-country VAO project on unique identifier for rice germplasm from 2014 to 2019. With his strong academic and professional background, Dr. Hakim brings both national and international expertise to guide today's discussion. With great pleasure, let us welcome Dr. Hakim Kurniawan to lead the sharing session. To Dr. Hakim, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers, and all participants joining us today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope my voice can be heard clearly by everyone. It's my
Yes, sir.
pleasure to welcome you to this important webinar entitled Strengthening Community Participation to Support the Conservation of Agricultural Genetic Resources. The theme we are addressing today carries a profound meaning. Agricultural genetic resources are not only the foundation of global food security, but also the key of sustaining biodiversity, cultural heritage, and the resilience of our farming system in the face of climate change. However, conserving these resources cannot be done by researcher or policymaker alone. The role of communities, especially farmers, indigenous groups, and local custodians of traditional knowledge is indispensable. Community participation ensures that conservation is not just a scientific endeavor, but also a social movement rooted in daily practices, shared values, and intergenerational knowledge. When communities are engaged, conservation efforts become more sustainable, adaptive, and inclusive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we are truly honored to have three outstanding experts with us. Each will bring unique perspective and experience from Nepal and Indonesia. All right, before we step to the presentation session, allow me to read and display the curriculum vitae of our first distinguished speaker as shown in the screen. Our first speaker is Mr. Pitamba Shrestha. He is currently a program advisor at Community Seed Bank Nepal. He is an experienced professional in agricultural biodiversity management, with extensive work at local initiative for biodiversity, research and development, the Community Seed Bank Nepal, and as a member of the ad hoc technical expert group on farmer rights under the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. He has designed and implemented programs for the conservation and sustainable use of agricultural biodiversity, while leading numerous national and international training on participatory approach such as community seed bank and participatory plant breeding. Mr. Shrestha has actively shared his expertise through workshops, seminars, and symposiums worldwide, and has authored multiple publications focusing on farm conservation, agricultural biodiversity, community seed bank, and farmer engagement. Before we proceed, I would like to kindly confirm the presence of our distinguished speaker. May I confirm if Mr. Pitamba Srista is with us today?
Yes.
Great. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Srista. Yeah.
Thank
No?
you. Shall I start?
Yeah. No, we would like to invite our first presenter, Mr. Pitamba Sresta, to deliver his presentation. He will represent the Community Seed Bank Association of Nepal. He will share his presentation entitled Community Seed Bank in Nepal, Experience and Lesson Learned. Mr. Sresta has been deeply involved in strengthening seed bank network and empowering farmer community, and his insight will provide us with valuable lessons from Nepal as a long-standing community-led initiative. Mr. Sresta, you will have approximately 30 minutes to deliver your presentation, which will then be followed by about 20-minute session. Mr. Sresta, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hakim. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, BRIN team, for this opportunity. And I hope, thank you very much also for the nice introduction. I hope you will enjoy this session. As mentioned by Dr. Hakim, I'll be talking about the Nepal's experiences on community seed banks. I would like to start my presentation right away. So this is the outline of my presentation. I hope you can hear me and my slides are there. Can anyone confirm, please?
Yes, it's okay. Yeah, it's clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this is my outline of my presentation. So I'm jumping right away on my presentation. So if you look at the biodiversity profile of Nepal, so Nepal is a small country on earth, but it has lots of diversity in terms of both flora and fauna. And it is considered as the 10th richest countries in terms of flowering plants in Asia, and on at the 27th reach in terms of on flowering plants on Earth. So Nepal has identified 118 ecosystems. So you can see the rich biodiversity of Nepal's in terms of birds, reptiles, butterflies, fishes, flowering plants, and mammals. In terms of agrobiodiversity, so though Nepal is a small country, it has climatically and geographically, it is diverse. We have 17% flatland. In those areas, in the southern part, in those areas, people have ample access to agricultural input and hybrid seeds and fertilizers. So they are moving more towards cultivating high-yielding crop varieties, including F1. That means our local crop diversity are sharply declining on those parts. But if you go to the mid-hills, which comprises 43% of Nepal's land mass, if you see in the picture, the women in a weekly market, they are selling various agricultural products, and those are primarily based on local crop genetic resources. And if you go to further higher up in the hills and mountain area, so most of the people rely on local crop diversity, and they use farm-shaped seeds and the rare local breeds of animals such as cattle, buffalo, goat, and sheep. So if you look at so this is like this gives a general picture of Nepal. So in southern part, we are a bit in trouble in terms of maintaining our crop genetic diversity. But in the hills and mountain, still we have lots of diversity. But those crop diversities are declining because the government follows the Green Revolution-based model of agriculture research, education, and extension services. We also face several natural and human-induced disasters such as flood, landslide, forest fire, earthquake, droughts, etc. But people are also not aware of, people and stakeholders are not much aware of the importance of local crop diversity for current and future food security. But at the same time, there is an increasing fallow land in the mid hills and high hill area because of the migration, and in the flatland area, the agricultural land are being replaced by concrete buildings. So our crop diversity are also sharply declining. The National Gene Bank of Nepal has estimated the loss of about 40% of its agricultural biodiversity already. If you look at another scenario of seed supply system of Nepal, till now, only 22% of total seed requirement of major cereal crops such as rice, wheat, maize, lentil, mustard, and some vegetables crops are supplied by formal seed system. But 70%, 78% are supplied by informal seed system. However, not all farmers in the informal system, they are good at selecting seed and storing and keeping. And there are several issues, and that's the reason that we still the crop production and productivity is very low in our country compared to many other South Asian countries. So in this situation, I mean, this picture shows the level of access to quality seeds to the farmers in Nepal, and this means both systems have issues. So community in Nepal now, community seed banks are being promoted as an option to address the issues of these both seed system, but also to check, to halt to conserve the crop genetic resources of Nepal. So we had like a global project on in situ conservation that was implemented by LIBOR, NARC, and Biodiversity International back in from 1998 to 2006. And that project actually did research and developed various good practices for on-farm conservation of agricultural biodiversity. And there are several good practices that talks about how to increase community participation in conservation and promotion of crop genetic resources. So I have placed this publication here in case you do not have access, so that you can see those good practices. In terms of community seed banks, the first community seed bank in Nepal was started back in 1994. However, the systematic implementation, documentation, systematic research on community seed bank started back in 2003, and from that point, the community seed bank started like disseminating throughout the country in Nepal. The number as of now, the number of community seed banks, I think it's nearly 100, but we do not have exact data because there is no system to keep track of the record of community seed bank as of now, though we have been working on this issue for many years. So, but out of, many community seed banks, 28 are involved. They are part of the Community Seed Banks Association of Nepal, and I'm working as a program advisor for these for the association. So what does community seed bank mean? I can hear some noise from the background. I think it's okay now. So what does a community seed bank do in Nepal? So basically they play three major roles. So one is they work on creating awareness and educating people and stakeholders on the importance of local crop diversity. Second, they promote on-farm conservation and use of local crop diversity. And thirdly, they also produce and supply quality seeds and planting materials of diverse crops and varieties. That also includes not only the local crop diversity, but also improved varieties of open pollinated seed. So basically, these three functions are played by community seed banks in Nepal. So then you can see, you can imagine what community seed banks are doing in Nepal. So in terms of creating awareness, community seed banks, they organize various activities throughout the year. They organize diversity fair. They do some kind of discussion at the community level. They engage local government. They also take part in various fairs and exhibitions. That's how they are contributing to create awareness on the importance of local crop diversity among the people in Nepal. In terms of conservation of local crop diversity, you can see the figure, and this is the number of community bank. They are part of the network, and they have conserved closely. 1,700 local crop varieties of closely 75 crop species. So in terms of and they do regularly regenerate seeds of these 1,690 varieties and provide access to the people who need it. And you can see how people get access. From this slide you can see how they regenerate seed and how people get access to seed. So community seed banks, they do regeneration of seed in a diversity block if there is no high demand of local crop varieties. But if there is a high demand of seed, then they produce seeds in the farmer's field. And those seeds, either both from diversity block and farmer's field, the seeds comes to the community seed bank, and later that is distributed to the farmers who wants to get seed from the community seed bank. And basically, yes, depending the seeds of the local varieties are produced based on the demand. If there is high demand, high quantity is produced. If there is no demand, it is just regenerated every year and kept in a community seed bank. Community seed banks in Nepal are also involved in registration of local varieties. We have, the stakeholders in Nepal work together with government agencies, and they were able to bring some kind of flexible policy to register farmers' varieties. So now these days, community seed banks are engaged in registering popular local varieties, and they are involved. They are producing seeds and marketing at local level. Our seed regulation doesn't allow any stakeholder to produce and market unregistered seed in a branded form. So community seed banks are also, they are moving towards getting formal registration of popular local varieties and producing seed and marketing it at local and also at the national level. And you can see the different community seed banks involved in registering different crop varieties in the right side, and you can see those 16 community seed banks. They produced more than 10 ton seeds of those registered varieties, and this number is increasing year by year. Before registration of these varieties, it was just it was just being produced and being planted and at the local level, and there was no formal seed selling and transaction. So you can see the impact for registration of local varieties. So we have a very simple provision to register local variety that with a small technical support, the community seed bank can register their varieties. Community seed banks in Nepal are also involved in producing and marketing improved seeds of open pollinated varieties. And those community seed banks who are part of the association, they produce more than 500 ton seeds of rice, wheat, and maize, and some vegetables every year. And you can see in the figure the rice seed produced by 15 community seed banks in 2024 was more than 300 metric ton. So, and basically, community seed banks, they sell the seed directly to the farming communities, but the surplus produce are also sold to the seed dealers, agrobates, and seed companies. So that's how community seed banks in Nepal are also involved in seed business in a way. But they produce seeds of only registered, and they produce seeds of only open pollinated varieties. They do not deal with hybrid and other seeds. I would like to give some example of some community seed banks so that you can see how community seed bank functions in Nepal. So this is the Haku community seed banks from northwestern part of Nepal. It was established in 2018 as part of the local crop project, which was funded by Jeff, and it was implemented by Liebert, NARC, and Biodiversity. And these days, community bank associations are providing support to them. It is managed by cooperative, and they have conserved 56 varieties of 19 crop species, and they do maintain diversity block of various crops. They have registered two local varieties already, and also they are registering another one variety of barley. They are also mobilizing some funds, and they contribute to generate income and also local employment. And they mobilizes about 15,000 US dollar as fund for income generation activities and for seed business. They produce and market approximately 2 metric ton seeds of different crop varieties per year, and they also sells local variety based food item. The unique work, the exemplary work they have been doing is that the community banks are collaborating with local government and schools and supplying local variety based food items for the midday meal supported by government. So and this has been this is an example of circular economy, and this is how the local crop diversity are being promoted through use through community bank in Nepal. There is another community bank again in the western part of Nepal, which was established in 2010, and till it's functioning very well, and it was supported by Liebert, where I worked for many years, and this community bank has 350 members, and more than 50% are women. This community bank has conserved 62 varieties of 20 crop species. This community bank has also registered one local rice variety called Jorail Basmati. That is like an aromatic rice variety. They produce nearly 100 metric ton seeds of rice, maize, and potatoes and vegetables. They are collaborating with more than 300 seed producer farmers every year to produce 100 metric ton seeds. And these seed production activities are greatly contributing to increase income and generate local employment. But also, this is the mechanism that is contributing to sustain community banks in Nepal. Without generating a good amount of income per year, it is very difficult to sustain community banks. So in Nepal, what we have done is we have developed some kind of mechanism that generates income to sustain community banks beyond the project period. So they also collaborate with local government, provincial government, district extension agencies, but also with private sector. And another example, this community bank has also combined they are managing a multi-purpose nursery. And so this community bank is not only dealing with seed, but also saplings of fodders, fruits and vegetables and local medicinal plants. The third example is again, this is from eastern part of Nepal, and it was again established in 2010. They have conserved 44 varieties of 20 crop species. They have also registered one local variety for aromatic variety of rice, which is called Kalonunia. And this variety was about to disappear back in 2010, but when we did research on this variety, and when we were able to register this variety, and these days this community bank is producing about 10 metric ton seeds of these registered local varieties per year. And the variety that was about to disappear has now become very common again in that area. And this community bank produced about 50 metric ton seeds of other improved and local varieties, and that also contributing to generate income for members and also for community seed bank. They have accumulated a good amount of funds as a community biodiversity management fund and as a seed fund. and that is greatly contributing to sustain their community seed bank. They have maintained good collaboration with local government and district extension agencies and some other organizations, and they have a very good leader till now, and that's why these community banks are they are a good example. In last 3 years, the government awarded these community banks 3 times. So they are. I mean, we consider this as a good community bank in Nepal. And one member of this community bank has also been elected as a vice chairperson of the local government. So these are the 3 examples that I wanted to include in my presentation, so that you can see how community bank functions in Nepal, rather than just providing summary of other information. So Nepal's community banks are considered a bit unique compared to many other countries, as community banks in many other countries, they are struggling for sustainability. But in Nepal, we have we are focusing on these 4 aspects of so that community banks are sustainable compared to many other countries. We focus on institutional governance and management. We focus on seed quality control. We work on regular income generation mechanism for community seed bank and for members. It is very important to have some kind of incentive, financial or economic incentive mechanism for members to sustain community seed bank. And also we focus on partnership and collaboration of community seed banks with other relevant local government and other agencies. So these are the 4 parts that we focus on when we establish community seed bank. That's why community seed banks in Nepal are a bit different than other community seed banks in other countries. So just to briefly talk about the association. So the LIBOR also facilitated establishing the Association of Community Bank, because until the community banks are primarily supported by NGOs. It is an NGO-driven initiative as of now, though government of Nepal also providing various supports, and they have included community bank in various policies, but we do not have a act that includes community bank till now, and we are working on this now. So when NGOs phase out their program, there is a vacuum. There is no one to look after providing support to the community bank. So now this community bank association is like fulfilling that gap. And this community, the association that I'm working right now, we are trying to support, engage, and strengthen member community bank. We are trying to keep all community banks active, and we are also trying to reviving some of the inactive community banks. But also we are trying to upgrading governance and management and capacity building activities of community banks. We are also engaged in promoting community bank as a tool to promote farmers' rights, as defined by the ITPGRFA, Article 9 of the ITPGRFA. We also offer training and technical support to the various organizations in Nepal and beyond. But also we are also engaged in advocacy for wider scaling up of community banks, and we work with the federal government, we work with provincial government, but also we work with local governments to have some kind of provision, policies, and budget on community seed banks. So Community Seed Banks Association is playing these 4 broad functions as of now. And there are some changes that we were able to bring about by working together with the federal, provincial, and local government. These days, the federal government is providing, they are allocating a good amount of resources to strengthen community seed banks and agrobiodiversity work on the ground. The provincial government has started allocating resources to strengthen community seed banks, and local government are increasingly involved in agrobiodiversity seed-related work, and they are also setting aside some funds annually to strengthen and support community seed banks in Nepal as a result of the advocacy work done by the association and together with some other organizations. The association is also piloting a new model of community seed bank. As of now, community seed banks is managed by community, but we are also trying to, thinking beyond that. And since government is responsible for many things, including food security, seed security, local crop diversity, and since government operates hundreds, thousands of schools, they can operate thousands of hospitals. Why they can't operate a community seed bank? So we are also trying to establish. We are piloting this model, testing this model, and we have started piloting this model with 2 local governments, and we are not yet sure if this model works, but we are trying to develop some different model of community seed bank managed by local government as they manage school, as they manage health posts. So we'll see how it comes. The association is also trying to upgrade community seed banks. We are trying to add new elements. Community seed bank is not about seed. Community seed bank should have some kind of information corner. It should have it should have like a corner that space for storing seed. It should have a space for storing bulk seed, but also so the community seed bank should have like some space and the provision to get seed and local varieties based food items. So we are also trying to strengthen or improve the status of community seed banks by adding these elements rather than just storing seeds, keeping seeds in the community seed bank. But we have started to work on this these days. This is my last slide, so I would like to conclude here. And what I would like to say is, community bank approach has a huge potential to strengthen farmer managed seed system, so as contribute to on-farm conservation and use of agricultural biodiversity, and providing timely and access to quality seeds that contribute to food security, income, and livelihood of smaller farmers. Community participation, the theme of today's webinar, in promoting conservation and use of agricultural genetic resources can be enhanced through development of an incentive mechanism to the members of and community. Without developing that some kind of either financial or some kind of incentive, it might be difficult to sustain community seed bank. To scale up good models, we need to follow a multi-pronged strategy, such as conduct policy dialogues with ministries and departments to integrate the community seed bank approach in policies, plans, and programs. That's how we are happening these days in Nepal. And also we need to convince elected bodies at the local level and guide them to develop policies and plans at the local level. And capacity building of civil servant, NGOs, and community through training, workshop, that's also critical, because there are not many people working on this. There are not many people talking on this on the ground. At the policy level, at the international level, there are so many people talking about community seed bank, but there are not many on the ground. So we need to work on that aspect. Sustainability of community seed bank is a global concern. In Nepal, 4 factors are decisive, such as institutional governance, seed quality control mechanism, regular income generation mechanism, and collaboration with formal public sectors. That's critical. A network or an association of community seed banks is vital to keep community seed banks active and alive, provide technical support, keep connecting people and community seed banks, and scale up good models. So thank you very much. I think I took some more time. I'm sorry for that, but I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pitamba Srista, for sharing the valuable experiences and lessons learned from the community seed bank in Nepal. I think your presentation provides an insightful contribution to understanding the interaction of genetic resources conservation, community empowerment, and the local food security. It highlights how community seed bank function not only as a technical mechanism for safeguarding local crop diversity, but also as a social institution that strengthen farmer resilience, facilitate knowledge exchange, and promote collective management of plant genetic resources. The Nepalese experience that you demonstrate, I think the success of the community seed bank relies on the integration of local participants and any other networking that can offering valuable lesson for other country that seeking to balance in situ conservation with sustainable livelihood. Great. Okay, we will have the discussion and question answer session. To make our discussion effective, please kindly use the raise hand feature or type your question in the chat box. When selected, kindly introduce yourself briefly before asking your question. And please keep your question concise and to the point so that we can give time as many participants as possible. Let us open the floor for question and discussion. To begin our discussion session, I would like to first open the floor to 3 participants. I saw in the chat box, I think we already have even 4 participants that giving the questions. May I read the questions to you, Mr. Sista? The first question is coming from Dr. Bahagiawati. Dr. Sista, does the Nepal government give kind of incentive or subsidies to your community seed bank to keep them conserving the local seeds? Does Nepal has some very popular rice variety that has high productivity? So most of farmers like to grow those popular rice variety rather growing local low productivity rice. How to keep the purity of their seed? Thank you. The second question came from Nurfianto Giar. Question number 1. How do seed bank community in Nepal collect their first seed? Do they consider the principle of plant breeding and seed science as outlined in ESTA? Or do they rely on traditional practices or local knowledge? The second question is, do Nepal's seed bank community act as foundation seed management unit, similar to those managed by the government called UPPS in Indonesia? Thank you. And the third question came from Dr. Yudhistira. Does Nepal have a seed certification system in place? Do CBS farmer adhere to the system when selling in the market? Okay, please answer the question, Mr. Sesta.
Thank you, Dr. Hakim, and thank you for the nice questions. I would like to start from Bhagyawati. I think your question is about if government of Nepal is providing support to community bank. The first question is yes, the government of Nepal. We have like 3-tier government, and the federal government provide. They are allocating a good amount of resources to promote conservation and use of local crop diversity. They provide funding support to local government to promote conservation activities, including community seed bank. So they have a guideline. They do not have act, but they have a guideline, and they follow that one. And the title of the guideline as such is the agrobiodiversity and community seed bank. So they provide funding support to the local government to work on that topic. And community bank have to lobby to get that from the local government. So that's the process. And many local government they who have understood this importance of local crop diversity, they easily provide those money to the community bank. But in some local government, still we have to do some kind of lobby. But I should say the government is allocating a good amount of resources these days, not earlier, but these days. The second question is, yes, I think you are talking about local varieties versus high-yielding improved varieties or hybrid. I think if you remember my slide at the beginning of my presentation, in southern part of Nepal, which is flatland, in those areas, people grow hybrid. People grow improved varieties, but there are also some good local varieties. As I gave one example of Kalo Nunia rice variety, which was registered by a community seed bank. And you can see, I mean, that is aromatic rice variety, and people want to eat aromatic rice, fine rice in different times of feasts and festivals and different events. So even though they grow high yielding varieties, they also cultivate these local varieties, and there are few popular aromatic local varieties, and they cannot compete with high yielding OP or F1 variety in terms of taste, quality, aroma. So still they grow, and but if you go to the hills and mountain area, people do not have, the government of Nepal is not focusing to work on those, to develop new varieties. They are working on it, but they are not able to provide good option for the farmers, and the farmers do not have option of cultivating local varieties. I'm from mid-hill areas, and if you go to my area, you cannot find even a single improved rice variety. It's all local. So it depends on where you are. So in hills and mountain, it's local varieties. In the flatland, it's more high-yielding improved varieties, but there are also local varieties. I think there are also other questions. How to keep the purity of seed? Yeah, we when we establish community seed bank, I mean, we provide training to produce quality seed to the farming communities. So what the and they have to follow in, if any community seed bank would like to produce the seeds of registered varieties, they have to follow the seed certification process. They should follow the seed regulation, and they should bring the foundation seed from the government. They should follow the seed seed certification, seed inspection, tagging, bagging, all those kind of things for registered varieties, released varieties. But for local varieties, they do locally. For non-registered varieties. So it depends. I think those were the questions from Bhagyawati.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think the second question is from Nurfianta. I'm sorry if I'm not correctly pronouncing your name. How do seed bank communities in Nepal collect diverse seed? So yes, first thing is, if you look at some of my presentation, publication, you can find how we establish community seed bank. And we follow actually 8 or 9 steps to establish a community seed bank. And once we decide to together with community, when we decide establishing community seed bank, then they do the documentation of their documentation of local crop diversity of that area, and we help them to analyze that data, and based on that data, they start collecting seed. So that's the collection process. And do Nepal Seed Bank communities act as foundation seed management unit? No, it's not like that. So when they have to bring foundation seed, they should go to the government farm, or they should follow the standard procedure that the government of Nepal has developed. Yeah, I think those are the questions. Another question is, I think I'm taking more time, so I'm trying to be brief. Does Nepal have a seed certification system? Yes, we have a very good seed certification system. Our system produces breeder seed, foundation seed, certified 1, certified 2, and community seed bank produce certified seed using foundation seed for the registered or released varieties. But for local varieties, for non-registered varieties, they follow their own practice. Another question is from Mala Muria. Based on your explanation, does CSP also market registered seed? I think yes. I think we discussed already. How does it work? they follow the seed regulation. And since I mentioned earlier, still the access to quality seed is a huge problem in Nepal. It's just 22%, and community seed bank is bridging the gap in a way. If you remember, those 27 community seed banks are producing more than 500 metric ton seeds of rice, wheat, maize, vegetables. So it's in a way bridging the gap. How many percentage of Nepal rice land is continuously grow local rice? I think we do not have that kind of data, but as I mentioned earlier, the southern part, it's hybrid and improved varieties, but just tiny percentage of rice field is you can see local varieties, but in the mid hills and high hills, it's almost all, apart from some exception, it's local variety. Uh, uh, so yes, I think those were the questions, Dr. Hakim. I think I tried to respond. Yeah, I think I covered.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Srista, for your clear and insightful answer. We still have about 15 minutes left. Then I can invite the next 3 participants. We already have here the next 3 participants. I think, yes. The first question came from Malamuria. Dr. Pitambra, based on your explanation, does CBS also market registered plant seeds? How does it work? How is the system established to secure local resource well, to prevent it from being stolen or misused and patently by commercial companies? And then the second question came from Susilawati. The first question, yeah. How many percentage of Nepal rice land is continuously grow local rice variety, and how many produce or yield per hectare? And then the third question came from Ramlah Arif. How community seed bank controlling seed quality and storage in terms of physiological quality? Is there any time period to control the seed quality and when to rejuvenate it? Mr. Trista, please, you can answer this question.
Dr. Hakim, I think I looked at those questions and I tried to respond, isn't it? I looked at the chat box and I tried to respond those questions. From those, I'm not sure if I covered all questions, but I tried, I guess. Yes, there are questions from Bhagyavati. I tried to respond this question. There are questions from Nurfianto.
From
Yeah.
Dr. Yudhishthir.
Yeah.
And
I tried to respond, and I think this question was about how do seed bank communities in Nepal collect diverse seeds. So I mentioned that we do some. First, we document the local crop diversity.
From the participant, is this answer clearly enough, or is there any?
Yeah, if there is anything that I'll be happy to.
Is there any confirmations? Yes.
I think there is one more question from Ramla. How many community seed bank? How community seed bank controlling seed quality in storage in terms of physiological quality? In community seed bank, like earlier, at the initial period, we were following the local seed storage technologies, but we learned and we realized that it doesn't work at the community seed bank. So these days, we follow the seeds are stored either in an airtight container, glass jars or plastic jars. If it is small quantity, and if the seed is it's a bulk quantity, we use like 3-layer we have like PICS bag, that is developed by some companies elsewhere, and that is available now. So we use airtight containers, but it also depends on when, you know. So in monsoon season, we really need to pay attention to store seed properly. So we follow those things. But in the dry season, in winter, so the humidity is not much. So even the seeds are stored in a simple jute sacks, you know. It depends on crops and varieties as well, and it depends on season as well. But we primarily focus, providing support and providing training and to store seed using the airtight containers, basically. There is follow-on question: is there any time period to control the seed quality and when it rejuvenate? In community seed bank, it's a community seed bank. It's on-farm conservation. Seeds are regenerated regularly every year. This is with the community seed banks do not keep seed for many years like in gene bank. So every year the seeds, whatever they have conserved, it is regenerated. And as I mentioned earlier, if there is a high demand, they produce a higher quantity seed. If there is no demand, they just regenerate in a small plot, in a diversity block, and they keep in a community seed bank. That's how they do. So I think, yes, I think I respond. And if there is any question from other participant, I'll be happy to respond.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Strasa, for the clear. I think it's clear enough the answer. We still have about 5 minutes. Is there any other question from participants? Mr. Srista, I have a question for you. It's very interesting presentation, yes. Considering the lesson learned from the community seed bank in Nepal, what do you see as the long-term implication of these experiences for shaping national policies on seed security and farmer rights in other developing countries? Thank you.
Yeah, I think if you look at the formal situation of formal seed system in Nepal and in many countries, you know, it's just the situation is more or less same. You know, the contribution of formal sector is not more than 1/3. You know, so if we would like to increase access to quality seed to the farming communities, as you mentioned earlier, I think during your opening remarks, there is a huge huge gap in terms of providing access to quality seed in the rural remote areas. So I think this is one approach that can address those issues. So if we agree on this, if we are convinced on this, then we need to we need to influence our policy, and the government should should work on this rather than just NGOs or agencies. You know, as of now, not only in Nepal but globally, community bank is driven by NGOs. You know, but and that's why. Still, we have been facing so many challenges, particularly in terms of sustainability of community bank. But there are also, there are many NGOs these days. I also worked for many years in an NGO, but sometimes they establish community bank without knowing it, how to establish it, what they have to do, how they have to do, what kind of mechanism they have to follow to establish a functional community bank, a sustainable community bank. They do like that. So in order to avoid all these kind of things, in order to establish a well-functioning community bank, in order to provide access to quality seed to the farming communities who are living in rural and remote areas, in order to conserve and maintain all our valuable agricultural genetic resources from that area. I think there can be other approaches, but as of now, I think if we work on community seed bank, this can solve the problem to a large extent. So if we are convinced on this, then we need to hit on the policy. So we need to work together with, depending on your political situation, we need to work. In our case, we work with local government. They are autonomous these days, you know. We work with provincial government. They also work on agriculture, genetic research at the local level. But also at the federal level. So as we are doing in Nepal, I think other developing countries, not only developing countries, but also other countries, I mean, who wants to keep their genetic diversity conserved on farm, I think this can be one approach, and they should try to develop policies, plans, and bring aid and work on this. I think, Dr. Hakim.
Thank you very much. We still have the last two questions here. Could you please, Mr. Pitabar, to briefly answer these last two questions?
Yes,
Questions.
I will look at it.
Yes, the first one's coming from Rahmat Abdul Ghani. Second one is from Ramal Arif.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay.
The one more question: do you have any constraints in this community seed bank program? Yes, there are constraints. As of now, I said we do not have a policy to register community seed bank as such. The community banks are being managed by either cooperative or community-based organization registered as a local NGO. So we are struggling to have act on community bank that allows us to register community bank in the name of community bank. So as of now, whatever name we give for community bank, like as I mentioned, Haku Community Bank, Shivagaj Community Bank, or Ghanteshwar Community Bank, if you look at my presentation, those are like informal name in a way. By the legitimacy is cooperative or the local NGOs. So that's one constant and the problem, but we are trying to solve it these days together with we are working with government. Other issues is I gave good examples of 3 community banks who are earning good amount of income to sustain their community bank. But there are not all community bank. They are they have good business, and some community banks are struggling to sustain. That's why the association is fulfilling gap, and we are trying to get some funding from different sources and trying to provide support to the community bank who are struggling and trying to develop a good mechanism. That's one thing. Another thing is I also would like to refer again my concluding slide. We need to develop some kind of incentive mechanism for the members and community to sustain community bank. But and that can be done through marketing of seed, marketing of local variety-based produce, or establishing nursery or some kind of thing. But if you are in remote areas, and if you do not have access to a good market, then you cannot also make a good money by selling seed or produce. So in that kind of cases, so we have to have a different kind of mechanism. So market is also important factor to succeed community bank. So those are a few constants that I can mention now. And another question is from Mala Muria. May I have another question? How the CSBs prevent the local research from being patented by commercial companies? In our case, this is not happening as of now. So what we do, it may happen in future, but what we do is we do documentation of local crop diversity and traditional knowledge. We call it community biodiversity register. So when we establish a community seed bank, that we start from documenting and planning. So whenever we have, if we have that kind of incidences in future, then we will have a proof. This is the community property. That's one thing. Another thing is our government is developing farmers' rights law. It has been drafted already, and they have they have included all provisions of ITP-JRFA Article 9, but also other international. They have also considered other international instruments and incorporated those elements in the farmers' rights law. But also, access and benefit sharing bill is also there. So I think our law will protect those kind of things. and they have given priority to the community because Nepal is following the sui generis system of agrobiodiversity to develop agrobiodiversity policy. We are not part of UPO. So I think, and we should have like a strong documentation system at the community level, I think. Yes, I think, thank you.
Well, we believe there are still many more questions to be asked. However, due to the time limitation, we will now have to bring this discussion session to a close. Thank you very much, Mr. Pitamba Sesta, for the inspiring and insightful contribution. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sesta. Before we begin to the next presentation session, let me to read and display the curriculum vitae of our next two distinguished speakers as shown in the screen. Our second speaker is Mr. Stanley Kristianto. He is currently a program manager in Borneo Institute, Indonesia. He holds a master's degree in agricultural sciences and resource management in the tropic and subtropic from the University of Bonn, Germany, with a specialization in agroforestry modeling and climate change impact, focusing in natural climate solution. With a strong expertise in sustainability and community empowerment, he has managed international projects addressing climate change adaptation, livelihood improvement, and social development for indigenous society in the tropical forest, dryland, and peatland regions. Between 2022 and 2025, he has also served as a consultant in forest and biodiversity conservation investment, environmental and social safeguard assessment at Fairventure Social Forestry, and as a social forestry and natural-based solution specialized for FAO representative in Indonesia. His work emphasizes holistic, cross-disciplinary approach that benefit both people and the environment. He has contributed to the scientific discourse with publications such as Can Indigenous Species of Central Kalimantan Live Viable While Conserving Their Forest Land? And the next speaker is Dr. Muhammad Iskandar Ishak. He is a senior agricultural scientist with extensive experience in crop breeding, seed system, and plant genetic resource management, having served in a key position of the Indonesian Agency for Agricultural Research and Development, and later at National Research and Innovation Agency (BRIN). Since 1988, he has contributed to the research and development in the food and horticultural crop farming system and seed technology, while also engaging in the international collaboration with the institutions such as CIP, ICRISAT, IRRI, and CIRCAS. His leadership role has included site coordinator of the West Java Upland Farmer Development Project, Deputy General Manager of the Seed Source Management Unit, and coordinator of Plant Genetic Resource Program at IRRD, as well as a member and expert team in the Material Transfer Committee under National Research and Innovation Agency (BRIN). His research span agroecological zoning, biofertilizer consortium, agricultural machinery, and varietal registration and release, culminating in more than 130 national and international publications and intellectual property rights. I saw that our next two speakers are already joined with us. Now we will invite the next two speakers to deliver their presentation first. After two presentations are completed, we will continue with the discussion, question, and answer sessions. Each of our two presenters will be given no more than 30 minutes each for their presentation. After all presentation, we will continue with about 40-minute discussion session. We kindly request that all speakers to stay within their allocated time so that we can have a smooth session and also allow enough time for interaction with participants. Okay, our second speaker is Mr. Stanley Kristianto from the Borneo Institute Foundation Indonesia. His presentation is entitled Development of Seed Houses and Empowerment of Local Community, communities to support the sustainability of Cemplasem in Kalimantan. With his experience in community development and biodiversity conservation, Mr. Kristianto will highlight innovative effort in Kalimantan that link seed management with community empowerment. Mr. Kristianto, please, the time is yours.
Thank you very much for Hakim. Yeah, let me to share my screen here. Everyone can see my screen here?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hakim. Yeah, good morning, everybody. And yeah, I let me introduce myself. My name is Tendi Kristianto. I have been working with Borneo Institute, and today I want to share the story. I can say the story, and I hope it's beyond of the seed, because this is the story about the people, about the culture, and about the resilience of Dayak indigenous people in Central Kalimantan that are preserving their identity and future by saving the seeds. And the title I got from the committee is Development of the Seed House and Improvement of Local Communities to support the sustainability of germ plasm in Kalimantan. Yeah. First of all, I want to introduce also my organization. This is the Borneo Institute. This is local NGO founded in 2007. 90% of our staff member is Dayaknis, because they founded by Dayaknis in Palangkaraya. And we are focusing in empowering Dayak indigenous people in rural communities. And we're working in the tropical rainforest, riverbanks, because the Dayaknis living in the riverbanks, and the remote village. Most of our village or the project area without electricity, without internet, without the signal of the telephone. Why BIT exists? Why BIT founded? Because a lot of reddish burning tropical forest, because fire and land burning, and a lot of also logging company that cutting the trees, and also the mining, let's say the mining entity clearing the land. So recently, as we know, that Borneo is very popular with the palm oil plantation and mining, because it's more productive than the other farming system. And we found that the Dayak communities losing the ancestral forest and livelihood if the forest convert to the others use, like the others. Without the farming, the Dayak indigenous people cannot live. So that's why BIT exists. And recently, the climate change makes these challenges even harder, with the unpredictable rainfall and more pests. This is that we found in the project area. So what is our approach? Our work beyond the agriculture part, actually, we combine the advocacy, because without land, farmer cannot do farming. And cannot forest, the Dayak people cannot looking for food in the forest, because most of them taking the food from the forest. So we also do the reforestation. The biggest project that we have in Borneo is planting 1 million trees program. 1 million trees program is not really popular in Indonesia, but we try to cultivate 1 million trees program and success in 2020. And we use the organic farming to improving livelihood, because organic farming is related to the traditional system. They didn't use chemical pesticide or chemical fertilizer. This way we try to do a research how to make the biopesticide or bioorganic, they say a biofertilizer. This way we invite all of the people to come to Borneo to see what is the potential in the research that we have. And after we see the project, and actually the heart of the everything is seed, because seed are life, They are foundation of the food, culture, and resilience. This is the local seed. So if they lose the local seed, they will lose their food system and becoming independent on the external companies or external buying. So they should buy the seed. That's why we say it, and we think that, oh, okay, seed is very important. So we built the project, the community seed house. So why the community seed house? The first, actually a long time ago, and I believe in every countries or every region they have this kind of the picture like this. In other region maybe they have the difference, but they have the same function. This is for the storage, this is the seed storage. This is the rice storage, and in Dayak they have this one long time ago, and we saw in some village, for sure it's very remote area, they still have this one with they're very specific seed storage like this, and with their indigenous knowledge, they can, let's say, they can make how the seed is very comfortable with the temperature, for example. So they build the seed house with the specific wood, and they know that the seed is very demand from the animal, so they make it more higher than the soil. So they put 6 pillar, and with the certain height. So this way is in Dayak people, they have this one. But now this kind of we call it seed storage, or actually this is seed bank in the village. It's disappear because the traditional farming are being displaced by oil plantation or mining. And recently, I can say, but we can discuss about this one. Sylvan cultivation, slash and burn, is often unfairly blamed as the main causes of the land burning. This is the reality in Kalimantan. But we found actually the real driver of the deforestation is large scale plantation. It's not about because of the shifting cultivation by the farmer or by the villagers. And the FAO research show the traditional shifting cultivation maintain the biodiversity and forest cycle. So what we do, and we saw and we analyze this with our team and some of the research and the university, and okay, we built the Pasaharati. We built the modern way of the seed storage, let's say, with some of the improvement. Pasaharati is literally called, Pasa is hut or the small houses, and Harati is smart. So actually, this is the smart houses, yeah, but without Wi-Fi or technology. Actually, this is smart house or smart houses. In 2020, with our funding, with the collected by the farmers, and we try to organize the farmer to establish the Pasaharati or communal seed houses. We call it seed houses. And what is what we did is, the first we mapping first. What is the important seed or important crop that they have? So we have the conclusion. We make the 3 cycle of this 3 cycle of the seed. The first cycle is food crop. It is the rice, maize, eggplant, or cowpea. This is the very important crop that they cultivate every day. Every season, and they need it for food. So it's related to food security. And the second circle is medical herbs. And the third circle is the tree, the big houses, the big trees to make houses or the furniture, because it's very important also. And a lot of tree species is disappear also, like the ironwood or something. So we collect 3 of the circle, this one. So by our funding, by initiative of the farmer, and because in our staff member we are graduate from the university, and we try to looking for our networking. We use Google, we use YouTube, we use we searching our networking with my our teacher in university, and yeah, we try to writing the proposals to other organization. And 2022 we built the Pasaharati, this one, the Pasaharati. And the Pasaharati itself is not, it's not about the for seed storage, but also the training center. So we try to make it the store communal seed house is not only for the storage, but also for the training center. So it will be interaction between farmer and NGO and village officer, and some of the university researcher can come and join and sharing knowledge. And in 2023 and 2024, we got funding from the Crop Trust in Germany. And this is the process or the stage that we learn in the next step. So okay, the first that we learn is about the seed house have the standard. Before that, we don't know with standard, the moisture and the temperature of the seed house and the water availability in the seed. We have to be control this one. So Crop Trust help us the first to build the laboratory, to have the short-term seed storage less than 5 years, and they should be cultivated every season. So this is like the circulate seed, or we call it seed bank. In every season, a farmer take from a seed from this seed house and cultivate after the harvesting, and then put again for the Pasaharati. So every season they do that. And some of seed they storage, they giving to the bid, and we set up the laboratory with the freezer to 5 years, less than 5 years. And we looking for the information. There is also gene bank in Indonesia, in Bogor. In 2023, we know there is the National Gene Bank, or IKA Biogard, and they have very good facilities to storage. I was there, and I was talking with the head of the BB Biogen. And we also know the information there is the long-term storage in global seed for Saltberg in Norway. So what is we do? So we cultivate daily routine every season, and some of them we send to the National Gene Bank to conserve, and we also send to Norway. So what we did is in 2022 to 2024, we have around 200 accession with the 4 crop: rice, eggplant, kupi, and maize. And we try to close collaboration with the local farmer, because we believe that farmer knows better than us. Farmer know how to cultivate. They know how to storage the seed. They know what is the best seed, which is very resilient with the climate change. So we try to do interview, and we collect of the rice, because the space is very limited in our laboratory and storage. So we choose what is the best one. And we involve the farmer in seed registration, integrating traditional knowledge and new expertise. We use compost, we use the biodiversity. And we still use the harvesting traditional way with the manual, yeah, because they don't have very big harvesting in the local seed local seed actually. So it's possible to use the manual cleaning. So what is we do? If you see the figure ones, they still use the shifting cultivation. We didn't change their traditional system, but we try to combine with the modern system that we know the pollination will be appear for plantation, so planting. So this way we use the isolation net, and we involve the farmer to measure because we cannot go to the field every day. This is the remote area, and we just come to them maybe 3 days per week or even per month. So they will send the measurements to us. They writing how tall, and then what's the kind of the paste or disease that they get from the plantation. And we try to use the paranet also for this one. And this is our target group. Most of the farmer are women, yeah, because the man is working for the palm oil plantation or the mining. So yeah, we try to establish the functional laboratory and database. I think it's very normal. The laboratory is very small, not very big or modern laboratory, but it's enough for seed processing. But we learned that database is very important. This way, we should follow the database aligned with the FAO standard and Genesis because they have the database of this one. And we received the institute code in this one. So this registered by FAO to have this. So at least Borneo Institute or community seed bank recognized by international organization, and we built by ourselves the Borneology. I think it's the innovative that we can show to you. So this is the how we collect the seed, and we make the geolocation. So if you see this one, we will see the where is the seed here, because the seed is cultivated here. So we can show that who is the name of the farmer, and what is the gender, and what's the location, what is the typical of the storage, and what is the typical for the planting. So as we also put the time for the planting to know when is the last time that they're planting, and then we can show the Google and where is the location. Why it's very important? Because with the accessible open data, and then people can see what's happened in Borneo. And if you see is here, see, you can see there is the palm oil here. If you see here, you can see the palm oil. So what's the picture can tell a lot of story. And here, if you see in the river, it's not really clear actually, but it's the mining from the river in here. So the line of the river is not really good anymore because the villager make it the river. You can imagine how the local seed is threatened by these activities. So this is the function of the database. And I agree with the Dr. Vitamber, stuff from the Nepal, that capacity building is very important. This way we try to invite all the people that expert to come to the village, come to the grassroots to teach. And we try to translate and try to bridging the information. Yeah, and we also have the online workshop with the Crop Trust, and they have they have a lot of workshop online. Then we can register by online actually. So this this is very compulsory to improve our capacity how to manage the seed. So yeah, this is the kind of the activities, seed processing and packing, and we try as long as possible to follow the international database. That's why if you see this here, we use the barcode, we use our analytical code, and yeah, with the aluminum foil. So actually it's quite simple, it's cheap, but we try to follow the standard. And yeah, finally in the October 10th, 2023, we try to send or ship our seed to National Gene Bank, and we have 278 accession in National Gene Bank, and in Norway or South Seed Deposit we have 394 accession. So and because the activities, and in the beginning we don't know there is a National Gene Bank exists, and we go there, we went there, and then from IKA Bjorda come to our office in 2024 and see how is the gene bank, how is the seed bank and gene bank, the laboratory gene bank exists in Palangkaraya. So what is take-home message that I can say, that seed and culture is deeply connected, because you can imagine the mother can preserve the plants across generation, even the third generation. So it means the seed have the 100 years old, and climate resilience, and surprisingly the farmer select and preserve the best cultivar. Because they know daily how to cultivate, so they find which is the best, the rice cultivar under climate change. So it's very impressive and inspiring for us. And we saw the gender issues also there. Actually women have decision to cultivate the rice, which seed that we want to cultivate and bring to the children or husband to eat is decided by woman. So it's very important to involve the woman. And yeah, this is the shaping the agricultural knowledge and social relationship actually. And seed tradition is very close, because before the planting they will use the ceremony, and the ceremony should use this very specific seed. In every ceremony they have to have the seed. So if the seed lost, so they will not have the traditional ceremony anymore. So it means seed and tradition is very close. And yeah, I think the others is recognition. BRIN Institute is the only organization that has the seed bank in Central Kalimantan, and we are very open with other organizations to collaborate, to research, and because a lot of things that we have to know about I believe that there is new finding if we collaborate with others. And community empowerment is very important. Farmers should engage in generation training to improve their capacity building, and the others for the impact itself. So we think that we always act locally but think globally to reach out our networking wider if we see what is the global issues recently. So this is our team. Thank you very much, and back to Pak Hakim. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stanley Kristianto, for that insightful presentations. It is inspiring to see how community-based effort can strengthen the sustainability of our genetic resources. Okay, next we will hear from our final speaker. We have Dr. Muhammad Iskandar Ishak. a senior researcher at the National Center for Food Crop Research Organization of Agriculture and Food under the National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN, Indonesia. He will present on tradition-based in situ conservation of local rice land races, a case study of Kasepuan Sinar Resmi Sukabumi. Dr. Iskandar has extensive expertise in local rice diversity and in situ conservation practices. And today he will share how traditional knowledge and culture play a vital role in safeguarding genetic resources. Okay, Dr. Iskandar, please, the floor is yours.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Hakim. Thank you very much. Could you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, we have it clearly. Yes.
Huh? Oke. Oke, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished Head of Research Organization for Agriculture and Foods, Ibu Puji, Distinguished Head of Research Center for Food Crops, Dr. Yudhistira, Distinguished Mr. Pitambar Sresta and Pak Sandi Kristianto, Dr. Hakim, Bu Mulyani, and the organizing committee, and all esteemed participants of the Teras-TP webinar. Good morning and healthy greetings to all of us. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this session. At this moment, I will present a topic entitled Tradition-Based in Situ Conservation of Local Rice Land Races, a case study of Kasepuan Sinar Resmi Sukabumi Regency, West Java Province. This presentation will highlight how traditional wisdom and cultural practices play a vital role in conserving local rice genetic resources, and how these efforts contribute to sustainable agriculture and food security. I will deliver the presentation a mix of Indonesian and English, and the translation will kindly be provided by the moderator later on. Background, as we know, West Java contributes about 16 up to 22.5% of national rice production. The contribution of rice production in West Java has shown a decline from year to year, although its productivity continues to increase. The most dominant factors is the conversion of agricultural land, rice fields, to other purposes. Over a period of 25 years, its contribution has decreased by about 6.5%. Local rice varieties are crucial for marginal agroecosystems. Usually, agricultural lands that cannot be planted with the new superior varieties. So farmers still use local varieties, such as on highland rice fields, swampy rice fields, saline rice fields, dry fields, or upland rice, and also in areas endemic to diseases, for example, tungro, aerial leaf blight. Therefore, the role of local rice varieties is still quite important in West Java. Indigenous community play a key role in conserving genetic resources, like in Kampung Naga, Tasikmalaya Regency, and in the Kesatuan Adat Banten Kidul, including in Kasepuan Sinar Resmi Cisolok District, Sukabumi Regency, West Java. Research objective describe the role of indigenous wisdom in conserving local rice. Second, explore agricultural rituals and philosophies of Kasepuan Sinar Resmi. Philosophy of life, guiding principle, tilu sapamulu, dua sakarupa, hiji eta kene. 3 in one face, 2 in one form, 1 in essence. Jadi artinya 3 itu sewajah, 2 itu serupa, dan 1 itu juga. Gitu artinya. Harmony between two atau tekad, speech atau ucapan, dan action or lampah. Jadi ucap lampah tekad, soul body behavior and indigenous law, state law and harmony and spiritual belief. Rice farming process, or padi sawah or wet rice. In rice paddy farming, there are 17 stages that must be undergone following the Hijri calendar. Starting from the numpanggalam or field preparation up to harvest. This is the gender collaboration, men, women, and youth all contribute. If you see the table 1, process of rice farming system in Kasapuan Resmi, there are 17 stages starting from numpanggalam or making buns. This is in Muharram, moon, actors, men, and youth. And second, ngabaladah or weeding the land. Third, ngambangkan or flooding the land with the water or soaking. And fourth, the ngangler or clearing, which as preparation for sowing. And fifth, the tebar or ngipuk, broadcast showing rice strands. And sixth, tandur or transplanting rice seedlings. Ngarambet or cleaning weeds in the paddy field. Babat galang or clearing grass on the buns. On dibuat or puetem or negel or the harvesting rice with the item or ani-ani tools. And yes, ngadamal lantayan or making a drying place for rice. Ngalantai or drying rice on lantayan. And this mocong pare, mocong ini pocong, ini dari pocong. Tying rice into bundles pocong. And diangkut ke leit or ngunja or transporting rice to the granary or leit. And so ngaleitkeun or storing rice in the granary and di leit, arranging rice in the granary. And 16, ngadukeun indung or putting mother rice into the granary. And the last is disalamatan nganyan ritual or ritual feast, cooking the first rice. Jadi masak, cara masak pertama, nasi pertama hasil daripada panen. Jadi kalau misalnya dilihat dari bulan kalender ini, Muharram until to silih mulut, di hampir 1 tahun, dan aktornya di sebelah kanan ini baik bapak-bapak, pemuda, dan ini ada juga ibu-ibunya. Jadi ini masing-masing ini ada aktor atau pelakunya, masing-masing step kegiatan dari ini 17. Jadi ada 17 langkah atau 17 stage. And second one is rice farming process for upland rice. In the upland rice farming, they are same 17 stages from Narawas to Salamatan. Ritual activities starting from ngasek, beberes mager, ngarawunan. So maintaining harmony with the nature. If you see the second table, processing of upland rice is same with the wet rice. There are 17 stages starting from Narawas or marking the location to be used as upland rice field. And second, nyacar or clearing the land. And third, ngahuru or burning dry shrubs to be used as fertilizer. Ngarukan or collecting residues that were not burned. And fifth, ngaduruk or burning the remaining residues, and nyara or loosening the soil, ngasek or showing rice seeds using a stick or asek, and ngoret or weeding the grass, and then mimpit or dibuat or cutting rice or harvesting. And ngadamal lantayan or making a drying place for rice, and then ngalantaikan or drying rice on lantayan, and then mocong or tying dried rice into bundles, and ngunja or transporting rice to the granary, and ngaluitkan or storing rice in the granary, and then ngaluitkan or arranging or organizing the rice, and ngadiakan indung pare or storing mother rice in the granary, and the last one selamatan or ritual feast harvest Thanksgiving. This is also same for 1 year, starting from Jumadi Awa and ending in Muharram months. Ceremonies and rituals. There are several ceremonies and rituals throughout the year related to rice farming, including Serentahun or annual harvest Thanksgiving, Sedekah Ruah and Mulut monthly community fest, and other rituals like Nyimur, Prah-Prahan, Beberes Bengkong. So function as spiritual symbols and environmental conservation practices. Seed storage in the granary or luit. Rice seeds are inserted from the top of the granary, then arranged according to the harvest results, meaning that the seeds that came in first will be used first as well. So, in conclusion, the experience of Kasepuan Sinaresmi show that conserving local rice is not merely about maintaining seeds, but about preserving culture, philosophy, and harmony with nature. The rituals, farming practices, and ceremonies form a living system where biodiversity, spirituality, and sustainability are inseparable. This model reminds us that the future of food security can be strengthened by respecting indigenous knowledge and integrating into broader conservation strategies. By honoring indigenous wisdom, we are not only preserving rice, but also nurturing the seeds of culture, religions, and sustainability for generations to come. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much to all
This,
speakers.
Hakim.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much to all our speakers for such insightful and inspiring presentations. We will now move into the discussion and question answer sessions. Let us open the floor for the question and discussions. I show in the chat box, there is already some participant addressing a question to Dr. Iskandar, even more question to Mr. Kristianto. The first one is from Nurfianto Giar. Question to Mr. Stanley. How do indigenous Dayak farmers store their seed and replant them over the year from generation to generations? How do they maintain the genetic stability of the cultivated plant? And the second question is The seed bank specifically for collection and use by local or indigenous communities. Given the strict regulation and policies regarding plant variety protection and seed management in Indonesia, in the past several farmer breeders were imprisoned due to this regulation. This is a significant concern. The second one is second question came from Busita. Question to Mr. Stanley. Does the Cemplasa management community, especially food crop, meet local food needs? Next is from Siti Nur Zuraini. Question to Mr. Stanley also. Could you elaborate on how you manage genetic resources in situ areas? Does this involve any governance mechanism or regulatory practices with local communities? The next question is addressed to Dr. Iskandar, came from Nurfianto Giar. How are the Sinar Resmi Kasepuan able to identify its rice variety they grow and store in their leit up to 80 until 140? And then the second question is, from various interviews with other Kasepuan, the seed can be stored for years. Is the mocong pare method, which harvests rice by cutting the stalk or clump of rice, then tying and drying them, the key to their rice storage system? Has there been any scientific research on the mocong pare technique? And then let me to read the last question to Mr. Stanley also. Came from Kerten. Regarding BIT's initiative, Pasah Harati, mapping include endangered tree species, is there conservation activity done for those kind of crop, such as field gene bank or in situ conservation? Please, I give opportunity to Mr. Kristianto to respond to the question.
Thank you, Pak Hakim. So my answer is, how do indigenous Dayak farmers store their seed and replant them over the years? So the seeds is very related to the how they live. It's very surprising that we try to collect in the field, and why the mother still keep the seed. It's because seed is like heritage, or seed is like legacy. It's like the land. If your father dead, and they will give to the land for the children, right? So it's the same like the seed. If the mother have, because in one smallholder normally they will have the more than one variety. It's sometimes depend on the children. If they have the 5 children, they will keep the 5 variety. It's symbolic of the children. So they will cultivate 5 variety, and this variety will give to the children. So the children will cultivate the other from the mothers. So I was like that. So it's related to how the system of the family. So this way they can cultivate every generation. And then how they maintain the genetic stability to the cultivar plants. I can say, Hannes, that we don't have research yet for the genotype stability, but we learn how they control, or they choose which is the phenotype sign. If in the fields, if they cultivate the rice, they will see which the difference phenotype. Maybe there is the very highest the highest rice, and then they will not use for the next period. So they will use the same as possible, because they need the quality, they need the same phenotype. So for the genetic stability, we don't have any research yet, but from this way, how they collected or selected the phenotype is, we assume that this will have the same for stability of phenotype in the next generation. So for the other question, Yeah, for about the plant variety protection regulation. The first I can answer that we use the local seed, so they didn't breed the company seed or the hybrid seed. This way is very we are very sure that the we don't actually in the beginning we don't know what is the plant variety protection. When we go to the agriculture minister, when we want to send to the seed, and the officer said about this thing. So we learn that yeah, okay, so for the farmers, because they breed naturally, they have breeding naturally, so we don't need for the plant variety protection actually, because they don't know how to breeding with the others seed. For the question about the germplasm management community, especially food crop, yes, we should, because how we cultivate or we support the farmer or we store the seed is decided by the farmers. So because we have limited funding, we have limited storage, so we let farmer to decide which the crop that very important to them. This way we make the circle of priority. The first priority is food crop, and we divide again with which food crop that very important to them, and they said rice, maize, eggplant, and cowpea. And the other circle is health, and the other is trees. So how we manage genetic resources in situ area. So this is the story about the seed. Is not talking about how we planting the rice itself, but how we see the holistic and anthropological situation. We did research in the beginning of our project. It's about the kaleka. Kaleka is the traditional ancient gardens by the Dayak people. This is the agroforestry system actually. The story is like this: the farmers go to the forest, go to the forest, and for the tree, even for 7 days or even the 2 weeks, and they build the houses. They build the houses and they eat the fruit, and they throw out the seed around surrounding the houses, and it's to be the agroforestry. So these activities already happened in a long time ago, maybe more than 100 years. So in the remote area, in the inside of the forest, there is the agroforestry like this. There is the durians, there is jengkol, there is something, not in the forest trees. So this is, we call it kaleka. They call it kaleka. So they still take the durian, take the other fruit from this one, and surrounding the kaleka, they cultivate the rice. Yeah, they cultivate the rice. So how we manage the genetic resources? As long as kaleka is exists, so we assume the traditional system will be exist. So this way we have the legal aid, we have the paralegal to conserve this one. For one, our target is at least this kaleka area, they have the decree from the village officer or village head or the local governments to protect this area. Yeah, so until now, the kaleka don't have any strict or clear regulation actually in the national level or the provincial level, but in the village level, at least they have we try to advocate that kaleka should have the regulation to protect this one. Otherwise, it will be converted to other land use. So, what is the other question? Yeah, so the question regarding the BIT initiative about the Pasaharati. what is there is conservation activities done for those kind of the crops. Yeah, I think it's the same answer that I already mentioned that for the in situ conservation, we see Kaleka is the door for farmer that we protect the conservation area for the in situ conservation. That is okay. For the other things that for the other question, do the seed you collect from the all area in central area or only for the central area? Have you a national register certificate all seed plant that collect? We focus on the central Kalimantan. Now we collect from 2 sub-district in Kecamatan Manuhing Raya and which is Kabupaten Gunung Mas, and the others in Desa Kubung in Kabupaten Lamandau. So because the actually we target in this year we collect the 500 accession for at least for in the central Kalimantan. A lot of things that we have to do and a lot of resources that we need, actually funding and cost, and also the infrastructure go to the central Kalimantan is very challenging. Yeah, so it's not, yeah, we cannot work alone. We should collaborate with the governments. We should go collaborate with the university, and we don't have any register or certificate all the seed of the plant yet. Some of our partner, our colleagues also suggest this one, but yeah, again, we have the limited human resources, and it's, to be honest, that to looking for the export in university in Kalimantan also is not really easy. Yeah. So yeah, if there is other open collaboration with Badan Riset, it's very welcome. Responsibility conservation. I request the server and reference sample to bring to supranational. Yes, I agree with this one. I think we can talk later after this webinar. Yeah, thank you. Back to Pak Hakim.
Thank you, Mr. Kristianto. Is there any confirmation or more decision from the participant who raised question? I think Mr. Kristianto giving the very clear answer. Okay, then next to Dr. Iskandar, please respond the question. Dr. Iskandar, you still unmute? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hakim. I want to answer question from Pak Nurfianto. And how are the Sinar Resmi Kasipuan able to identify each rice variety they grow and store in the late up to 80 to 100 variety? It is estimated that there are more. Actually, it is estimated there are more than 60 varieties in all of the Kasipuan. There are about nine Kasipuan, including the Baduy, suku Baduy tribes, yeah, in crossing West Java and Banten. Really, not all of collection of varieties are stored in one late, but divided one late owned by a farmer, usually only stores and contains a few varieties. For example, 10 up to 20 varieties. So not in one lot or all collection preserving in one lot. So the second question from previous interview with other Katsuan, their seeds can be stored for years. Is the mocong pare method. This harvest rice by cutting the stalk clumps of rice, then tying and drying them. The day-to-day rice storage system the key to their storage system. Has there been any scientific research on the mocong pare technique? Okay, thank you, Pak Nurfiantoro. For mocong, there are usually stipulations regarding the weight of the paddy and the count of the panicle, which is usually around 7 kilograms. There has yet to be a study or research on this. As addition information, if we inventory throughout the Kasepuhan region, there are about 8 Kasepuhans and 1 suku Baduy. It is estimated that there are more than 160 local varieties, but they have not been studied further because there are those with the same name and material, those with the same name but different material, and third, those with the same material but different names. I think that my answer to Pak Nurfianto. Okay, back to Pak.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Iskandar. We still have some time. Please, if there are any more questions from participant, we have one question here. I think it's already addressed to Dr. Iskandar. It came from Inyoman Widyarta. Mr. Iskandar, have you had the opportunity to observe the differences in problem faced by traditional rice cultivation in Kasepuhan Sinar Resmi Sukabumi compared to intensive cultivation in West Java in general and especially pest and disease? Please, Dr. Iskandar, to respond the question from Inyoman Widyarta.
Mute, Pak.
Okay, Professor Nyoman, I try to answer. Actually, in Kasepuhan Sinar Resmi, there has still have belief or tradition. All of the collection, rice collection in the Kasepuhan is tidak boleh, dilarang, forbidden to bring to out of the Kasepuhan. So this is maybe a problem or and if we are get to bring to the outside of the Kasepuhan to be research, to take the research in the outer of the Kasepuhan. This is the problem, I think, Prof. nyaman. This
Okay,
is
yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Iskandar. Is there any confirmation from Inyuman Widyarta, or I suppose the answer
purpose
from Dr.
analysis.
Iskandar is clear enough?
But one, I want to know if in our modern rice cultivation, intensive rice cultivation, we have we have one problem, and this is how about the rice condition in the traditional rice in Kasepuan, Pak Iskandar?
Yep. Prof. Nyoman, as far as we know, there are several varieties that are tolerant to certain pests and disease. Itu kan pertama.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
thank
it
you.
clear? Is it clear enough? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I will give the opportunity to Ibu Susilawati that I think she will giving the direct questions. Please,
Baik,
Bu
okay.
Susilawati. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hakim. I just a little addition for the Pak Stendi because I have met him in Palangkaraya. Pak Stendi, I want to give you the information when now the BRIN have collaboration with Gunung Mas district, especially for how to manage the biodiversity. Especially for the register, maybe we can support and have you and BRIN have given Bupati or in Gunung Mas to hire your organization. This year, maybe till 2 years, we can support to register national register, including the coffee local variety from the Gunung Mas. Maybe we can continue the discuss later. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for Bu Susi for this information. Yeah, we are very welcome to collaborate and cooperation with the BRIN.
Okay, we still have about 5 minutes left for the discussion. Is there any more question or confirmation to the speakers? No more question? Okay, I think there is no more questions from the participants since yeah, our time is almost up. Allow me to bring this discussion session to a close. Let me to pinpoint conclusion of our discussion today. Today's webinar has emphasized the critical importance of conserving agricultural genetic resources for food security, biodiversity, and resilience to climate change. We learn from Nepal Community Seed Bank, showing how collective initiative can preserve seed and empower farmers. From Kalimantan, we saw how seed houses and community empowerment are essential strategies to sustain germplasm and local livelihood. The Indonesian case study highlighted the value of tradition-based in situ conservation, where culture and indigenous knowledge play a vital role in protecting local rice land races. Across all presentations, a common message emerged. Community participation is the backbone of genetic resource conservation. Without the active role of local people, conservation cannot be sustainable. Moving forward, collaboration between communities, researchers, and policymakers will be crucial to ensure that genetic resources are not only preserved, but also utilized for the benefit of present and future generations. Strengthening community involvement in the genetic resources conservation has multiple benefits to safeguard local variety for future breeding, support sustainable livelihood through the use of native crop, and enhance resilience against global challenges such as food insecurity and climate crisis. Most importantly, it empowers communities to be active partner, not passive beneficiary in saving agricultural future. As we come to the end of the session, allow me to express my deepest gratitude to our three distinguished speakers, Mr. Pitambah Shrestha, Mr. Stanley Kristianto, and Dr. Muhammad Iskandar Ishak for the available presentation and insight. For the inspiring and insightful contribution of three speakers, please join me in giving them a warm round of applause to them. Okay, before we close, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our colleagues who has joined us today. First one is Mr. Muhammad Shukri from Mardi, Malaysia, Mrs. Said Nur Zuraini from Mardi, Malaysia also, and the third one is Mrs. Marilyn Farrell from Pilores, the Philippines. Thank you very much. I now return the time and the floor to the webinar organizer. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nggak ada suaranya, Bu.
Is my voice clear?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
thank you. We now extend our heartfelt appreciations to our distinguished speakers and moderators for their valuable contributions, and the certificates of appreciation are presented on the screen. The first to Mr. Pitambah Shrestha, Program Advisor of the Community Seed Banks Association of Nepal. Thank you very much. The second to Mr. Stanley Kristianto, Program Manager of Yayasan Borneo Institute. Thank you very much, sir. And the third to Dr. Andes Muhammad Iskandar Ishak MP, the researcher from Research Center for Food Crops BRIN. Thank you very much, sir. And finally, to Dr. Hakim Kurniawan, SPMP, our moderator for today, the researcher at the Research Center for Food Crops BRIN. Thank you very much. And thank you once again to all of you for generously sharing your time, knowledge, and expertise with us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the insightful webinar. Please don't forget to complete the attendance and e-certificate form provided in the chat box. And the link to access the presentation materials from our speakers has been also shared there. On behalf of the organizing committee, thank you to all speakers, the moderator, and all participants who joined us via Zoom and the YouTube BRIN Indonesia channel. We regret any technical inconveniences and truly appreciate your kind understanding. Let me close with the short rhyme as a token of appreciation. May seeds of touch continue to grow in fields preserved by caring hands. Together we strive, as farmers know, for agro-bias diversity across the land. The day grow dark, yet spirit rise. Knowledge share will guide our ways. With grateful heart and open eyes, we will meet again another day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. See you later. Stay safe and have a great day.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat Pak Iskandar. siapa yang punya? Kakak cakop pun nama, barang itu terpakai lama. Langsung tanya di kuku mama, ternyata ada nona kuku nama Maimunah. Maimunah, lucunya kakak harap bisa satu rumah. Kalau terima satu cinta, kakak janji kita langsung nikah.
Oleh udah janganlah bak itu bana, denai ko indah lanang sarupo itu, dek hanya takut menjali ya udah, acok malu ama bulaan, denai lah suko menjali ya udah bakalan basora soko kado, denai diamkan.
Awado-wado ini anak gagala, subale Jawa Tengah.